Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Tengku Nurbatisha. I'm going to explain about full employment. Full employment in an economy surely will benefit the country as the available resources can be optimized efficiently. Also, maximum output can be produced, so there will be no wastage. Okay. In Portugal, unemployment rate had rise in the third quarter of 2020, which is the highest unemployment rate since the first 3 months of 2018, which was calculated about 404,000 unemployed people. This suddenly movement was impact of lockdown restrictions in Portugal due to COVID-19 pandemic. So the government has taken approach by requiring all business and organization in the private to conform with the guideline issued by National Health Authority. Other than that, employees' working time also reduced proportionally, and if this action causes falls 2 over 3 of their salary from previous, the employees will receive additional allowance, which is paid by the employer. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Fatim Fitah binti Imsan Anwar. I'm going to explain to you guys about one of the objectives conventional, which is price stability. Price stability is a goal of monetary and fiscal policy aiming to support sustainable rate of economy, such as to keep inflation rate as low as possible. Inflation rate can occur when there is increase in general price level of goods and services. Inflation can affecting consumer purchasing power, especially for lower income, pensioners, and fixed income earners. For example, when inflation rate increase, the quantity purchases of goods and services will decrease. Inflation rate is much below than 4%. Besides, deflation can occur when general price level of goods and services is too low. It is not good for economic country because firms do not get to maximize their profit and they will decrease production of goods and services. To achieve price stability, government will use policymaker whether to use expansionary or contractionary. Okay, let's see if inflation rate in Portugal is below than 4%. Indicator of inflation rate in 2014 is negative 0.16%. It indicates that deflation occurs. For 2015 to 2019, inflation rate is below than 4%. In year 2019, inflation rate is 0.3%. It shows that Portugal achieves price stability. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Atika binti Kamaruzaman. I will talk about equilibrium in the foreign sector. Foreign sector is the part of the economy concerned with transaction with overseas country. The foreign sector includes import and export of goods and services as well as capital movement in connection with investment and banking transaction. We can use casino as example in Portugal. Portugal is originated predominantly in the domestic market. There is debate about the level of the tax levied on casinos and how the tax receipt should be used as tourists rarely visit casinos. The authors developed a dynamic general equilibrium model of a small upper economy. comprising an industrial sector producing an internationally trade good, a tourism sector producing tourism service offered to both foreign tourists and residents, and a casino sector supplying gambling services.
Equitable distribution of income. Equitable distribution of income is to ensure that the economic growth of nation is shared equally among population. Government will use policy maker for no wide gap between the rich and the poor. Difference of income will create social friction and will emerge many problems. To control inequality, taxes are imposed to reduce of income between the higher income and the lower income. For example, the higher income will pay more taxes than the lower income. Government will receive revenue from taxes on the nation. Taxation and subsidy are the method of the government to achieve equitable distribution of income. Thank you, that's all from me.
Hi, do you know how Portugal reduced inequality and poverty to bridging the economic gap? It was by policies. The recent tax reform system has increased its progressivity. Then, a number of adjustments had been done, such as transfer payment, especially non-pension benefit, that giving more support to elderly and families with children. In addition, Portugal also defined benefit pension system and spent 12.5% of its gross domestic product on old age and survivor pensions.
Hi everyone, my name is Anis Marhana and I would like to share with you about economic growth in Portugal. So, what is economic growth? Economic growth is an increase in the production of economic goods and services compared from one period of time to another. It can be measured in nominal or real, adjusted for inflation terms. Traditionally, aggregate economic growth is measured in terms of gross national product (GNP) or gross domestic product (GDP). After growing by an average of 3.0% in 2017 until 2018, the Portuguese economy has moderated its growth to levels of around 2.0% in 2019. The entry into a more mature phase of the cycle and the fading of temporary support factors that drove growth in recent years are the main causes behind the more moderated expansions. Even so, this rate is sufficient to support Portugal's convergence with the rest of the euro area without generating macro-financial imbalance. To address 2020, we must first conduct a brief review of 2019. Domestic demand has continued to make a notable contribution to growth. Similar to that of 2018, it has also continued to benefit from the strong performance of private consumption, which is the release of the strength of the labor market. However, it is investment that has stood out in 2019, and its acceleration has been visible in all its components: machinery, transport, and construction. Nevertheless, the acceleration of investment has contributed to a greater growth in imports, that is, export, than in exports, meaning that the foreign sector's contribution to economic growth has been negative, which is negative 1.2 pps. As a result, the current account and capital balance fell to 0.2% of GDP.